Hello, friend.
Hello, hi.
This, boy, it might be a longer video. We want to do some update. The first thing we have to do is talk about the urchin contest.
Oh yeah,
the beauty contest.
Urchin contest.
Yes, because it seems like everybody was really good and didn't go onto Google and tried to think about, their own ideas about why the urchins are collecting these things. We eventually did go on to Google to look it up.
Is this the answer?
This is the answer. And the answer is that there is not an answer.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
It's surprising how many things are like that in the world that people don't actually know.
There's still so many mysteries out there. And often I think we humans can think we know. We come up with a little box that we put around something and we become satisfied with that. But often, science shows us this over time, we've been missing a lot of the picture because we became satisfied with that box and then didn't look beyond it. That doesn't just apply to science, but to a lot of things in life. So the scientists think that, some of you said that this could be camouflage, and that is definitely one of the hypotheses. And another one is that it serves to be a protection against predators, which some of you brought up.
But they already have prickles.
But these guys only have very little prickles.
Yeah, like I can hold one.
You can hold them up and feel them crawl over you, right?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. The thing that has the most evidence actually is that they're putting that stuff on them to protect against UV radiation. And these are from some experiments based on using different colored plastic. Oh. And then they seem to pick the ones that confer the most UV protection.
But I've been looking at them, and some of them only have like a single shell.
Right. Sometimes it's just a little shell. And I have to say, sometimes it looks
really ridiculous. Like
oddly decorative.
One time I saw one. Wish we could have gotten this on film. But the one that had a face in it, it was like 2 eyes, a nose, and a smile. Like literally, I found one that had shells in the shape of a face.
Well, I got some footage recently, and I'll put it up. I'll try to do it here during this dialogue so people can see a couple other examples. One had 2 big pull tabs.
What are pull tabs?
Metal pull tabs from top of pop or something like that. As eyes, and then it had a little, yeah.
That's so funny.
What else?
Okay. Last, really, I think that you heard, we were pretty full-time doing the bed and breakfast. That is not the case anymore.
No.
Miriam is way better.
Yay!
We're still doing weekends. And we elected to do that bed and breakfast is a full-time job. So we elected to do that to give them a break and a rest. She's still not feeling completely better, and that allows her a little bit of rest time during her week, which she just wasn't getting before. So we're still doing those weekends. We're still doing some grounds work and gardening. We've also been painting and helping them out, and we're going to help them out with when they go on their vacation here. We're we're actually going to be running the bed and breakfast for about 10 days. So
longer than that.
Longer than that. Oh, wow. The 100% Project, our mission here in Hawaii. Let's launch into that a little bit.
Alright.
Boy, we've been on a roller coaster, haven't we?
We should show our 100% meal, though, that we did.
Yeah, let's flip onto that quick. This is an example of a 100% meal. The grapefruit was harvested by a friend. The lime is from a neighbor's stand. The ulu chips are from a breadfruit tree right on the property, and the rosemary from a garden on the property. And the sea salt that we put on here is dehydrated from the sea. The beef is local and grass-fed right here on the island. Most beef is shipped off the island, finished and brought back, but this is all done right here. The guacamole is from avocados from a neighbor's tree, and we use some of our lime and sea salt. And finally, we have some coconut cream as a little side drink there. This stuff is so delicious from coconuts that we got from another friend. What is this, Mirabelle?
It's almost all local, and this is totally 50 miles local. It's amazing. It's delicious.
This is dessert. We started this out thinking we were going to join up with another family, be doing this in community, the 100% project, and the other family was not, it did not work out with them. They just elected to go back before we even arrived.
So we thought we would come and try it on our own and see what we could do. I mean, we had all of our tickets purchased and we had a place that we were going to be set up. And of course, as most of you know, that has changed too. And so a little bit, for me at least, it feels as though I'm going into something and then I get my feet into it and then life says, oh, except for it's going to be like this instead. And so then I say, okay, I'll get organized, and then life goes, actually, it's going to be like this instead. And so I feel that what we're trying to do with the 100% project right now looks vastly different from what I had envisioned as the project being. And we've talked about this before in another video and just some of our struggles, but over time we are still finding it to be really challenging. It's very rewarding when we have a meal that's 100%.
I love looking down at my plate and being able to know, like, I keep being like, oh, but wait, that's not, wait, but we foraged that from wherever.
Or we made the salt. And so I had imagined initially that when we got to 40%, which is where we're supposed to be now, and we're totally not at 40%, but that's where we're supposed to be entering into this month, I had imagined that, you know, like half of all of our meals almost would be 100%. But the way that it's seeming to be is that it seems more of a replacement for us right now. For example, we're making coconut milk now, so we don't need to buy any other nut milks or anything like that. We can just make the coconut milk. We can make salt now, so all of our salt can be 100% salt. We have macadamia nuts, which we're finally starting to get to process. It takes a while for them to be cured enough to crack open easily. We're finally getting into that. Our fruit, most of our fruit can be 100% from around here where we've gathered or we foraged. So it seems almost as though groups of foods are becoming 100% versus the whole meal itself.
Or from farmer markets that are really good.
Farmers markets that are close by, or some people that we've met.
Like down the road there's someone who sells some fruit on the stand.
So we've been networking with our neighbors and with other people that live in our area that can help us out in that respect. And I think, I don't want to put it in terms of failure, because for a while I thought, we're not going to succeed at this. We're not going to get to the end of a year and be at 100%. And that's a failure. And that set up a lot for me. As you all know, the perfectionistic tendencies in me are strong. And I'm like, oh, people have been supporting us and they're going to think we're losers. But I started to realize that all of you out there, you probably want to make changes in your life too. And sometimes they don't look like the changes that you initially thought they were going to be. And that doesn't mean that what you're doing isn't positive. Maybe you have a goal to quit smoking at a certain time, or you want to lose some weight, or be more exercise inclined. Just because you don't make it 100%, especially right away, doesn't mean you should completely give up. And it doesn't mean you shouldn't learn from what is happening to you along the way. So I feel that we have been successful in learning about our environment and learning about what's here and what we can do.
It is really fun to once in a while, just for the fun of it, you know? It would be awesome if, you know, like, just once in a while we'd say, hey, let's make a 100% meal. We can make our own salt or whatever, you know? Like, it's fun to make them, but with so much, not exactly pressure, but we've made all these decisions, and it's hard for us, and I actually really do like foraging and doing all the 100% stuff, but we've kind of, I don't know, maybe said we could do too much, put too much on our shoulders, you know?
Yeah, and that comes a little bit from life changing itself around a lot.
Exactly.
And the picture looking different. And some from coming here and finding out what actually is here.
Wow. Sometimes I think our 100% project is actually about 100% surrender into life, into what happens. You know, I think historically, you and I especially, and sometimes often as parents we pass this on to our children, have this, if we set out to do something, it must look exactly as our vision originally planned. And our whole Hawaii experience has thrown that for a complete loop. And we've had to adapt. We've had to shift and change and transform things. And we've been, I think, doing that in some really positive ways for us that feel good, even though it doesn't look like exactly what we had envisioned. But there's still, we both feel inside of us that, it still should look like that initial vision. And so that's something we're navigating right now and exploring.
Well, just one example, and I don't want us to necessarily get too long-winded here, but one example is that we're filming inside our little space, our little 8x12 space. That is our home right now. And we're filming inside because we live where a road winds around.
Cars.
And actually, filming here in Hawaii has been really challenging because if it isn't cars, or people, or sirens, or dogs and chickens, then it's the wind, or...
And right where we live, as Mom said, it's a curve, and also it's slightly uphill. So just as they come, it's kind of quiet, and then it goes...
Yeah.
Popping up their engine so they can go up the hill.
So, or the lighting, we'll set up 5 different places to try to do a video, and because of the sun or the waves behind us that are super bright, we can't get ourselves to, it's crazy.
If you ever come to Hawaii, you gotta go to a farmer's market.
Oh yes.
There's a density of people here, and there's a density of sound because people are so tightly packed. So, ocean, winds if you go up higher, and then people all in between. Filming
Cars.
our videos has been one of the toughest parts of this. And yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I wanted actually to talk in the beginning of the video. Why are we in this little space instead of outside?
We've tried to film this video. This is probably time number 4.
Yeah.
Trying to get this video to actually come out so that you can see us, you can hear us.
Well, and we wanted, I think, here we made this decision so that you could see at least a little bit of our space. It's pretty Spartan here. This bed is our sitting place, play place for the girls.
Basically, yeah. The parents take over the ground and we take over the bed. And
Yeah.
at night we pull out the bed on top and put it on the floor, and that's us girls' bed, and then you guys sleep on the higher bed.
Yeah, I mean, basically from here to the wall is about half the room, and then on the other half is storage and our desk space with the computers.
We just eat on the floor. I'm going to show some footage here of our kitchen, and then there's the outdoor sink that we have, which is way across from, the kitchen and the sink are on opposite sides of the little 8x10 space.
We found so many slugs in our sink.
I'm going to do a video, I think that's the next one, on rat lung, but they don't understand rat lung yet, unless they live here. I know a couple of you live here, but
We're
going to do a video
sometimes,
so then you can understand
keep finding slugs in our sinks.
why the slugs are... She's not just grossed out by slugs. There's a reason
No,
to
slugs
be
are cute.
fearful of the slugs.
I love slugs, actually.
Not fearful, but...
I love slugs, actually, but here...
You have to be a little bit careful.
Rat lungworm is a disease.
Yes.
You'll find more about it in the next video.
Well, so have we kind of covered some of the ground that we wanted to cover? I mean, there's so much here to talk about and so much that we're learning that we would have a very, very long-winded video if we explained all the ups and the downs and the discoveries and the challenges. But just to know that we're still trying, we're doing our best, and probably our 100% project is not going to look like at all what we thought or you thought it's going to look like. But we just want to encourage you. I feel that I see this a lot, that you can go on to Facebook or other places and people's lives look so perfect, and even our life can look like, oh, they're so happy and perfect and everything goes so well. Well, that isn't true. Life is messy, and it gives you things that sometimes you think, how am I ever going to get through this? How am I ever going to figure this out? And you do. You just call on your friends. You take time to go inward and treat yourself right, and you say, look, what do I know that's positive? What can I do right now? What choices can I make? And you go along that, and you take the next step and do the best that you can do, and you learn and you grow. And if you surrender to saying, okay, it's not going to look like what I thought, then you open up the door for so many incredible things to take place that you might have just shut out before.
Kind of just do the next right thing.
Okay,
but
some people will get that.
But if you want to go for a walk, it's not like in Wisconsin. You have to drive to a space to walk.
Oh.
You can't just go out the doors and walk.
Lily, you're so right. Something that's hard on our hearts right now is access to nature is extremely difficult here. In Wisconsin, we had incredible access to nature. There's national forest land where you can just put on a backpack and strap on your sword and head out and have a fire
Go
and
for a jog,
camp out wherever you want. Yes.
Oh.
That is not the case at all we've found here. Where
we have to pay to go camping, like $80 or something.
It's very expensive. You have to pay to go camping sometimes in states like Wisconsin. However, it is very exorbitant in my opinion. Of course, Hawaii is expensive. However, it doesn't feel like the land is very accessible to people in the same way that some other states are.
And that's part of, we were talking to a ranger that we know, and she was saying that in a large part this is due to the large homeless population here. So to deal with that, they have upped prices and just reduced accessibility so that those public places don't become homeless camps. Unfortunately, the way they've chosen to deal with that has made nature less accessible to everybody, including the homeless who could benefit from being able to go out into natural places and forage. And so it is, it's hard not having that connection with nature. The ocean has become our hiking, our nature place, but the ocean is pretty crowded with humans here too. And so there is, we haven't had really any solitude in nature as a family. I don't think really since we got here.
We did a hike, which you will get to see eventually, where we went out onto the rocky lava shoreline to see some urchins and some blowholes.
Yes.
And we found a secluded
so
beach,
awesome.
not by the water, but just a little bit of sand. And so we did have a little bit of time where nobody else around, no other humans, just the ocean and the hot lava rock.
Yes. Oh, we did. That was special. It's a good memory.
And sand.
So keep doing what you're doing. We'll keep doing what we're doing. And let's just swap stories. And, you know, there's a lot to learn in life. And I'd love to hear what some of you have discovered, especially in times where situations haven't turned out the way you thought. There's definitely hidden gems in that. And I would love for you to share with us.
Anything else, you guys?
I don't think so.
One thing that's been very consistent in our lives has been a gratitude practice. And so huge gratitude to all of you. Some of you have been sending us some support that has made all the difference in the world. And sometimes that's been financial, and sometimes that has been emails sharing things about your life and just warming our hearts. Thank you to all of you who are part of our channel and just make this whole thing possible for us.
We're very grateful to you.
So, big love
Mahalo.
to you all.
Mahalo.
Mahalo.
Mahalo. Aloha.
We'll talk with you soon.